Hey guys, don't go anywhere. I'm on day 1 of my bone broth fast and I'm about to show you how I prepare it before each meal. Okay guys, so thanks for tuning in. Today's day 1 of my bone broth fast. I'm going to go 2 days, and I've made the decision that if I feel alright after the second day, I'm definitely going to go for 3 days and try to go to the full extent and see how it does for my stomach. Now, I'm going to prepare my bone broth, and remember, I do more of like a supercharged bone broth, and I put in a scoop of the bone broth protein powder. That's a regular natural flavor tasting, so it's not going to add any kind of funky flavor to my bone broth. It's just going to get it all frothy. And then I'm going to also add a scoop of some MCT powder for some really fast fuel for my brain and also for my muscles, so I don't feel lethargic and I don't feel too tired while I'm active and working with clients all day and also with my workouts. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Let's come in close. Come over here. Okay guys, so we're going to take a look at this over here. I'm going to actually take my bone broth that I simmered at home, and I blended in those 2 types of bone broths that I showed you, the organic one from Sprouts, and then I also blended it with the Keto and Fire Chipotle flavored, which is really great. It's actually quite spicy, so it has a kick to it, and frankly I'm surprised that a lot of people can drink it on its own without cutting it because it's pretty spicy. We're going to put it into the container, and then we're going to heat it up in the microwave. Now, I know a lot of you people out there might be against microwaves and such, or whatever it may be, but frankly, I've got no problem with it, and it makes it convenient. Unfortunately, you know, we are creatures of convenience. We have to work with what we have. Okay, so when it is done heating up, and of course you're going to put that in whatever temperature you want it to be, I leave it in for about 2 minutes, and that should do it. That should be perfect. I'm going to go ahead and pour it in. Okay, I'm going to mix it in with the rest of the broth that I have here. Actually, I'm going to warm that up too because I don't want cold broth in there. We're going to put that in as well. Get that going. Okay, and then we're going to get the hot broth ready. We're going to take it right over here. We're going to take the bone broth powder, the protein powder. We're going to go for a scoop of that. And each scoop here has about 20 grams of protein on top of the collagen and everything else that it has in there, and all the minerals. And then we're going to take a scoop of the MCT powder, the organic MCT powder, and we're going to throw that in there as well too. And that's going to supercharge our bone broth, both those things, with extra protein and some triglycerides, some healthy fats to really be able to get that energy going. We're going to blend that together with a whisk. And the great thing about it is that the MCT powder doesn't have any flavor in it whatsoever. And unlike the oil, the MCT oil I found can upset some people's stomach really badly. The powder doesn't have that type of effect that I've noticed with my clients and myself that might have an adverse reaction to the oil. It's a good substitute and I prefer it. And there it gets a little bit frothy. You just mix it in there, blend it in, and then we'll wait for the rest of the bone broth to come out that's heated up, mix it all together, and then we'll pour it into our thermos and we're good to go. So the other remainder of the bone broth is heated up, and we're going to put that in there. Good. We are going to then just make sure that it's nice and whisked together fine. See, the other powders, the MCT and the bone broth, have really mixed well into there, and so it's not all clumpy or any problems with that. So that's going to be incredible. Then give it a taste. Let's give it a try. Let's see, here we go. So we're going to give this a nice taste right now, and we're going to see how it is. Oh, that's good. That is good. So you really don't taste the flavor of the bone broth powder because it's a bone broth flavor. If anything, it just made it more frothy. It's really nice. And the MCT powder you don't taste at all. If anything, it's just added a more thicker consistency to it. And I've got my lunch here that I'm going to be drinking and getting that through, and then I'm going to plan on doing my workout in a couple hours after I'm done with a couple of more clients. So it's my first meal of the day. Okay guys, so I showed you how to make my bone broth and how I prepare it right before I drink it down, and I had that about a little bit over an hour ago. Now usually I like to wait about an hour and a half to 2 hours before I work out after I've eaten something, but I should be good, and I'm going to head down there and we're going to do day 2 of my new workout schedule, which is back, abs, and core. Okay, so let's head down to the gym floor. Let's go. So today is my first day on the bone broth fast, and I decided to go ahead with my strength training scheduled, which is going to be back, abs, and core. Short for time. I had some clients that had to switch over their schedules and are now coming in earlier than planned, and so I do a giant set for the first one, which is 3 exercises back to back, and then I take a minute rest. I do a wide grip thumbless pull down to start off with, then a single arm row alternating, starting off from one side on one set, then another on the other one, and then I go over to a lower abdominal leg raise. Do about 4 sets of this, and then I move on. Now, after completing the giant set, I go ahead back to a more traditional superset of 2 exercises back to back. I top off the upper lats and upper back with a close grip pull down, and then I do that with a plank, but this isn't a normal plank. I hold it for about a minute, and then I add a touch of Arnold to it, a little bit of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I create a vacuum. I suck in my stomach as high as I can, and imagine pressing my belly button up against my spine, and I hold it there. But I breathe through my nose so that my stomach doesn't expand than my lung does, and then I breathe out through my mouth, and I hold that for a good minute, and we do about 4 sets of this. And last but not least, since I'm short on time, I superset my mid and low back together. I do a cable row, heavy cable row on the rotary machine, one arm, and I'll do repetitions on one side and then switch over to the other side, and then I go ahead over a lower back and hamstring extension machine, do a holding suspended row with barbell, and then I'll do a put it down, and I'll do extensions with that as well too. So this is a grueling mid to lower back superset right here, and it tops it off and sends me on my way. And guys, I want to thank you for tuning in another time to the 180 and 90. I know you have a lot of choices out there to spend your time with. I hope I'm inspiring you to get back into shape, or inform a friend or a family member who needs to get back in shape, and I hope I'm inspiring them. If you like everything, please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you again here tomorrow on the 180 and 90. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.